Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning into a new video. This is putting a Picatinny rail on an 1858 new model Army. Looking mighty fine already. Honestly, this is just to add a better sight picture so that I don't have to cock the hammer back to actually see the picture sights. Of course, as you know, with the 1858, and I actually, because I'm going to be pointing this at myself at this point, I'm going to be taking out the cylinder. If you already know, looking down the sight picture, you can't see the back end sight without actually cocking the hammer back, and now you actually expose the sight picture where you can actually line up the front sight, back sights, and actually have some idea of where you're aiming, or a better idea rather. People obviously do shoot from the hip with this. It's a good fanning gun for that historical reference, as it were. The 1851, I'm going to be taking out the cylinder as well for this one. The sight picture is also not available until you actually cock that hammer back. The sight picture in the rear is on the actual hammer itself, which is quite unique if you think about it. Modern day pistols, you would never see anything like this. But yeah. Look at that. Slammed it right into right in between the cylinder. Confidence will get you killed. Anywho, back to the 1858. Now the reason why I'm going to be adding a Picatinny rail is only because I really want to see what it is like to shoot something like this with an optic. I of course do not want to damage this gun in any way, and or actually modify the frame of the gun in terms of actually drilling and tapping and putting on a Picatinny rail, because I know that is an option. However, I don't trust myself, nor do I want to actually do that in the first place. So like I said, don't want to drill and tap the frame. I know that this is basically not necessary in terms of the actual handling of the gun, but it just gives me another thing to clean in terms of the actual hole itself. Another screw to unloose. It's not worth it. I could just take this whole thing off with 3 screws, bing bang bow, it's all done. And because I was changing this out, I figured might as well change out the trigger guard from the same company. So I guess this is, maybe even a review of this company. This company is from France. Be waiting maybe 10 days, maybe 8 days, depending on where you are and where the shipping is doing or handling at that very moment of the year that you're ordering. But yeah, so for me it took me approximately 8 days. Got stuck in Chicago for some reason. It's beyond me. Anywho, so yeah, it's basically a new trigger guard, and I figured, well, if the trigger guard, is going to be replaced, and I have, this whole Picatinny rail, might as well get some modern looking grips. In the pictures, they looked a lot better than they actually are. I did try dry fitting him on because I was excited. I obviously ripped the whole what's it called, packaging off of the items here, and so yeah, we're gonna explore and explain to you what the upsets and the downsets, or whatever, upsides and downsides, pros and cons, however you want to call it, are of these different modifications. I guess the ups and downs of, drilling and tapping, because of course you know that if you drill and tap, it's like drilling into a block of wood. You're going to be there. It's not going to move. With something like this, my big fear is that it's not going to have enough strength up top. I noticed that, like, with this specific design, it doesn't have a clamp down at the bottom, even if it's maybe even like something that you slide on, something, but I noticed that basically just dry fitting, not actually screwing the pieces in to actually the frame, I did notice that it does have like a little bit of give, like maybe, like, I didn't actually measure it, so I'm kind of guesstimating, but maybe like a millimeter or a centimeter of give between that makes the difference here. So of course I did dry fit it, not sure how it actually is gonna work, and by dry fitting, just to demonstrate. I meant something like that. And you see how it kind of gives that just enough where it kind of gives me that concern, because it's supposed to lock up in the pictures right here where the barrel basically meets the I don't know, frame of the actual revolver itself. So right, and so it should be right here. I'm hoping that these screws do lock up basically, you know, and tighten it down to a point where it doesn't actually slide. I want to see that definitely happen. My, I guess, opinion is that if they did want that as their feature, they would have had something like this. So I guess they're confident in their design. I don't know, they did say it's polymer, but it does look like some 3D printed material, and you can very clearly tell that on the edges here on the siding. So I wonder if I'm gonna go ahead and clean that up. First I have to figure out how I'm gonna clean that up. Oh, even better on that right there. Not sure how well that's coming up. Hopefully. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and try that out. Like I said, I did one of these basically. Checked it out. It looks like it's gonna fit, but then again, you know, I don't want to keep my hopes too high. That's all I'm saying. Especially with the grips, it's just, I feel like when you're 3D printing things, I mean, I'm not gonna say I'm an expert, but definitely seen that being tried out a little bit. So we're gonna try out the grips first, just because I want to get that out of the way, really. By the way, link in the description for this guy's website, or this company's website. They do have some cool concepts and ideas, and if you want to, I guess, trick out your otherwise classic firearm, then that's absolutely an option for you. But yeah, so we're just going to take out that grip. Just an easy one screw flathead, as we all know. The one thing about that I do have to say about this company, they use these weird ass screws. Just figured, like, why don't you continue with these screws? They make you use these, like, I don't even, somebody could remind me what the name of these screws are. That'd be great in the comment section. It's just not come to me. But yeah, these should be lining up just like that. There shouldn't be any, like on the 1858, you'd have that metal in between. That metal is basically covered up with this, and the frame is halfway there, halfway there. Just lost the screw. Alrighty, let's test this bad boy out. So we're gonna go ahead, bring this back into the light. Alright, so it looks like it's a tight fit. I am noticing specifically right here, the curvature ends and it becomes this just 90 and then turn right there. Kind of odd, a little bit more than 90, I'd say 120 actually. A little odd, just going into that first step there. It's kind of being a little bit stubborn up top. It should be halfway, so basically I'm basically eyeing out from where that screw is and halfway through the screw, right? So it doesn't seem like it's a nice fit. It seems to be real snug at the top. I guess you got to really push. It wants to pop out. You see that? I had that down for a second there, and then when you push at the bottom, yep, see, just wants to pop out. Ooh, you really see the 3D printing here on the sides here. Not a good show. I mean, I haven't really seen these things out on YouTube, and that's why I wanted to make a video about these. The first guy out there. Maybe I made a mistake. Maybe there was a reason why there was no videos out there, right? But yeah, it's not looking good so far. I'm getting kind of nervous about these parts. I mean, how can you mess up the trigger guard? And by the way, they do make different parts between Uberti and Pieta, and they say that anything, I think on their website they said anything beyond 2015 is what everything can work on. 2015 and before that, apparently the reproductions are a little bit different and may not fit exactly. So, I mean, this is a, in fact, I'm pretty sure if I remove this trigger guard right here, and we'll go ahead and do that. This is a 2022 or 2021 Pieta 1858. Meow to you too, sweetheart. Yep. Italy. Wow. Italy, Pieta 2022. Yep, 2022. There you go. Just making sure that actually comes up on the screen there. Maybe not. It's pretty dull. But yeah, I have the trigger guard off. Might as well keep it like that. And might as well do some cleaning while I'm here. But so now that I have this off, I'm gonna try out putting on this side first. See how that works out for me. It's same issue, same print that I mentioned on the inside of the grip, where your fingers would be, where the grooves are. Over explaining my forte. Yes, pupa. Yeah. We're in the basement, you're right. Alright, so, oh, on this side you can actually see a whole, one actually, yeah. On the, you can actually see that it doesn't fit so well at all. You will definitely get some, let's see if I just pop that in. This side doesn't want to pop in at all. Let's see if I don't just press enough. See, and another thing about this, I will say that there's no instructions that came with this whole kit. I'd say that I think I spent a little bit over $100 on everything here, including the shipping costs, international. So far, piss poor performance. I thought France, maybe they had some. I shouldn't talk shit too much. They may redeem themselves in the years to come, right? Kind of looks like a toy, you know, in the pictures, and I might be able to edit these pictures in. These things fit well. They're like, ooh. I mean, I can't read French, but I guess I didn't see anything translated to say that it was easy to install. I'm not even gonna worry. Ooh, as a matter of fact, I am gonna worry a little bit because that's the wrong screw. This fucking bad boy takes these shits. And they're threaded the same. Good. Basically got this halfway in. See if I can see. Look at that gap right there. I'm just, you know, not impressed at all. Look at that gap. There's a huge gap right here where, like, I mean, maybe this fixes that. Hold on. No, because this is actually flush. That's interesting. That's weird. So this is, I guess, maybe a misprint. I have no idea how to even explain that to everybody. I am not graphic art. Yeah, it feels cheap, like a toy. I'd keep these wood grips. Oof. Or if you can, like, I guess maybe you can make a mold out of this. And that's maybe what maybe what I'm gonna do. 'Cause I mean, I'm trying to think of an upside. It's plastic. It reduces the weight significantly. But other than that, and that clicking sound is coming from my tools, and I'm sorry if you thought that was the plastic. I just wanted to clarify. But yeah, oh yeah, there you go. That is staying off. Wow, garbanzo beans, like, Yeah, I'd rather keep these grips. These are these fit these fit fine in my hand. I just wanted to match the style. Maybe I can refinish them to look them dark, make them look darker. But yeah, moving on. This is the trigger guard that I chose. I've liked this one because it's just not as crazy as the other ones. Some of them had like a hook here, and there was also a Picatinny rail here for one. And I just figured, like, what are you gonna put there? Like a flashlight, like a mini flashlight maybe, and you'd be like turning it on like that, but like you don't have a light switch, or like, you know, you don't, like, I'd honestly, you know, because you can operate this gun with one hand, no problem. You don't even need to, like, just, right? It's not even, especially if you really mess around with that hammer spring. Just trying to see how this lines up here, because again, it's 3D printed. You'd think you get it down to the millimeter, you know, but no. Yeah, it's flush in this front end here. It's a little minor gap, but in the back, nothing I honestly complain about. I think there's a little blockage there. Let's see if I can scrape that. It's a little gunk. Yeah, in fact, it's a little dried plastic that just, I guess, didn't come off. So let's see if that didn't just make it slide in. Obviously, I didn't pre-prep anything here, so just kind of went with whatever looked cool. Why not? You do what you want to do with your money. Am I in your house? Fuck you. Okay. Just want to not cross thread. Get a little scratch. These do scratch easy. They wipe easy though. I guess it's not a permanent scratch. I say it doesn't look bad. Yeah, that one might stay on. Yeah, we'll keep that on. That's cool. Well, anyway, I know the grand finale of this is that everybody wants to see, which is a Picatinny rail on an 1858 Remington. So, I mean, of course, reproduction by Pieta.
Okay, one note. Use the same frickin' neck size, please.
This has to be a better tool. There's no fucking way. Let me tell you, these do not look like hex wrenches. I've seen a billion of them. Never seen so round. I don't know if I should tighten it even more, because I mean, it's pretty stiff, but it still has a little give to it. Just a little stiff, but it still has a little give, and it's definitely gonna give when you're shooting it. I guess the recoil is back, but this obviously doesn't slide, so I don't know. I don't know until I take it to the range. But yeah, the sight picture, definitely a lot cooler. Sorry, ended up accidentally knocking the camera over. Just to do that again, so no cylinder. There is no need to cack that hammerback, excuse me, hammerback to see the sight picture. Now we can just look down the sights without cocking that hammerback. That would be good. Plus, again, opens up Picatinny rail. Opens it up to your imagination at that point. I definitely am thinking about a low profile sight. I know that most of the time when you see scopes or sights on, or optics, and whatever you want to call it, on any kind of revolver, it's usually that giant-ass hunting scope. Don't really see the purpose in that from what I'm doing. So yeah, see how this runs at the range. Hopefully make it up this weekend. And yeah, it's gonna be a nice follow-up video to that, or to this rather. So just to see it with the cylinder in. Actually, go ahead and put in an empty chain cylinder in there. A little bit of a resistance against this right here with this cylinder pin. Function of the revolver stays the same. Nice lock up onto that without anything moving onto the nipple. I'm just listening if there's any friction. It doesn't seem like there's any friction, which is a great thing to know. But yeah, so this is the 44. In case I didn't mention that, I'm not sure if I mentioned the caliber. But yeah, real sweet looking deal here. This is how it would look with those CCI caps. We gotta clean you up, buddy. I guess when you're actually putting the cylinder in, there's a little bit of an obstruction actually rolling it in, so I guess you have to roll it in a little lower than you typically would. Just notes I'm not saying that's a bad thing just yet. Maybe it's something that you can just get used to. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just pressing down now on the frame, or on the Picatinny rail. See if there's any added pressure. Would there be any failure in the plastic to actually rub on this? Doesn't seem like it at this point. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and clean this Revolver because it looks like this bad boy is dirty. Thank you for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen, this far into the video. I honestly really do appreciate it, and I'm sure the algorithm also appreciates it as well. I just wanted to really leave a message at the end of the video saying that I understand where I might be getting a little bit of hate comments from, I guess, people that don't appreciate that I'm essentially bastardizing a otherwise classic or antique firearm. And to that effect, I do understand where those folks are coming from. I myself am big into history, and I don't appreciate when people, mess with that fact. And it is coming from, at least my perspective, a point of science where I wanted to just compare a classic 1858 revolver to a modified revolver with a Picatinny rail, and in principle how that functions in terms of groupings, accuracy, and if it does improve it. And I hope that you understand where I'm coming from a purely scientific and maybe even mathematical perspective. Now, with that being said, yes, I did choose the trigger guard because it looks cool. And same thing with the grips. So, with that in mind, like I said, hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you tune into my upcoming video where I take this thing out to the range. I will be comparing the standard 1858 without the Picatinny rail with it on, and basically comparing accuracy, grouping, and it being shot from different stances, basically from a seated position up to a standing position. There's no laying down at my range, so I hope you understand that. On that note, I hope you enjoy the rest of your days, and hope to see you in the next video. Bye.